though, even now, trying to lay down some tracks. She was a bit peeved with Gaz, as it happened. He'd not told her he'd booked it till last thing, by which time she'd already accepted Harriet's brunch invitation. But these meet-ups were never the same without Gary. The wattage always felt that bit lower. Once a rock god, always a rock god, even if he'd actually spent way longer as a music teacher in a failing comprehensive. "Have you had something to eat? It's a longish walk," she asked Ruby. "Jordan, maybe a bit of toast first thing." "It's a shame Jordan couldn't come. Mark and Harriet would have loved to," Ruby sighed. "He's got a client, Mum." "On a Sunday? Rich people want to work out at the weekend," said Ruby with a shrug. "He can charge twice what he gets at the gym." The day was overcast but mild, with an underlying humidity that threatened serious heat later on. Mother and daughter set off past their own yellow brick terrace, where sold signs and skips were starting to spring up almost daily, towards the scuzzier end of the street, where supermarket trolleys and abandoned mattresses languished against tumble-down walls. They crossed at the pedestrian lights, turned onto the main road, and, dawdling past the estate agents, accidentally strayed too close to Budgeon's, prompting its automatic door to glide open. Ruby hesitated. "Shall I take them something, do you reckon?" "What sort of something?" "I don't know, muffins or—" "I don't think they're bothered about muffins," said Yvette kindly, curious, and a little sad that her daughter seemed to have inherited her own lack of entitlement. It wasn't as though the favours hadn't gone both ways over the years. They turned into the park that marked the boundary between Yvette and Gary's affordable postcode and Mark and Harriet's more affluent one, and walked on in silence for a bit. "What is it Mark does again?" "PR. He's got his own business." "So, like an influencer?" Yvette smiled. "I suppose you could say that, except his stuff's a bit more subtle." They passed the graffiti-covered shelter where years ago Yvette and Harriet had bonded over takeaway coffees while the kids played on the swings. "D'you reckon he'd rather be rich and a nobody, or skint and famous like Dad?" Ruby said. "I don't know about famous," Yvette scoffed. "It's a while since anyone asked him for his autograph." "You know what I mean, though," Ruby insisted. "Mark's not on top of the pops too, is he? He's not had books written about him." Yvette gave the question due consideration. "I think Mark's pretty happy being Mark," she said. They emerged now on the other side of the park and turned the corner into Moorcroft Road. "Oh, look at the blossom," said Ruby. "Isn't it lovely?" Yvette glanced up at the dark pink flowering cherry trees with their polished purple trunks and symmetrical clefts. Everything in Moorcroft Road was tasteful. The Edwardian semis with their well-proportioned square bays, the recycling bins in their camouflaged shacks of timber and trellis, the slatted blinds discreetly tilted to protect the expensively furnished interiors from prying eyes. They crunched up the gravel driveway to number 45, and Yvette rang the bell. "Hello? Are we too early?" she said, a little defensively as Harriet flung the door open, still clutching a hand towel between damp palms. She was wearing a navy linen jumpsuit. Her lovely androgynous face was makeup-free, and her blue-black hair was scraped into a crooked topknot. Beside her, Yvette's own outfit of skinny jeans, Converse, and an oversized faux fur jacket seemed to smack of desperation. "Any time is good, you know that," said Harriet, pulling Yvette into a fond embrace. "And as for you, stranger," she said, relinquishing Yvette and gathering Ruby in for a hug, "how come I never see you at the station any more?" "Oh, yeah," said Ruby apologetically. "I'm going the other way now." "She got promoted. They've opened a posh new dental clinic in Croydon and she's practice manager," said Yvette. "It's not really posh, Mum," Ruby corrected her. "It's full of Love Island wannabes getting veneers, but the pay's all right, so—" "And you're buying a place with your boyfriend, your mum tells me." "If they can raise the cash," Yvette said breezily. "You won't believe what a two-bed in Woolwich goes for these days." Yvette and Ruby followed Harriet down the hall towards an appetising smell of coffee. Mark bundled the newspaper to one side and stood up to welcome them. He looked, Yvette thought fondly,